Hey y'all, it's Charlene again with my next build. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and watching this video. I really appreciate it. So this is the King's Crown is the name of it on my gallery. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story home that I built initially on the Tranquil Crescent lot. I cannot say that. The Tranquil Crescent lot in Newcrest. So this turns out really nice. I actually really like this build quite a bit, considering it's actually base game. So I don't often do base game builds because I love all of the build items that come with the expansion game kits and things like that. So it's not too often you'll see me actually do a base game build. So I do know that as someone who at one point in time only owned the base game, I do know that it is really nice when someone actually does a base game build for the gallery. So this house actually turns out to be about a little over $114,000 when everything is said and done. So I actually, part of the reason I wanted to make this base game was because I think that base game builds don't really have a lot of options for accessories and clutter, which naturally make it less expensive usually to purchase for your save files. I know that some of my builds can be a little extravagant, a little over the top, especially with the prices, a little unattainable. And while this is not anything you can purchase with starter funds by any means, it isn't too crazy expensive at that $114,000. So something that can definitely realistically be obtained in the game without cheats, money cheats. But if you're anything like me, you don't like to play the game without the money cheats. So, so again, like I said, Tranquil Crescent lot on Newcrest, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2-story home. I have it titled as the King's Crown in my gallery. So I'm going to drop my EA Sims 4 gallery ID in the description. So feel free to check out my gallery. I would really appreciate the support there too. So this house ends up having an office, which is really nice. It's on the first floor. One of the bedrooms is a primary suite with an attached bathroom and 2 attached terraces on that second floor. So you can actually see right here we have a terrace off of the front of the house on the second floor and a terrace off of the side of the house on the second floor. Both of those actually connect to the master bedroom. So it adds some extra square footage onto that room. Lots of available space. And I think that those terraces there add a really nice feature, really nice cozy feel to the house, especially when you see how I kind of decorate them. I kind of make them more extensions of the house, of the interior of the house. So I think they turn out really cute. The terraces or the porches, whichever you prefer to call them. So there's also the first floor terrace off of the side of the house, as you can also see. It ends up being off of the side of the living room of the house. And again, it's kind of like an extension of the living room is how it kind of turns out. I have some additional lounging furniture, some additional patio furniture out there. And I think it turns out really cute and cozy. I like it a lot. I think it looks really cute. So in both of the terraces on the side, both levels have fireplaces. So you can see I built that exterior fireplace. And one of the things that I actually really like about the features on the side of the house there is that that fireplace is detached from the rest of the house. So I got the inspiration for this house from real life. There's a house in a neighborhood near my home where I live, and it kind of had something similar. It wasn't exactly like this, but it was very similar. So the inspiration was drawn from a real life house. As if you watch more of my videos and as I make more over time, you will realize that is pretty common with me, that I get most of my houses from real life inspiration. So this house was not quite the same color scheme, and of course I couldn't see the entire house from front to back, all sides. So I couldn't quite get exactly right probably, but the front of the house and the side terraces with the exterior fireplace that's detached from the house. Those are very, very similar in style and look. So I thought that this house's exterior turns out really cute. Again, with base game builds, it can be a little difficult. You can make things a little too over the top by trying to use too much with not a whole lot of different options that you have in base game. So I tried to do it a little more simple, a little less cluttered, a little not so much over the top. So especially on the interior of the house, I try and make the rooms a little more open, a little less cluttered, which if you've seen my previous video, and as I make more videos, you will see that that cluttered look is more my style. I like when things look cluttered and lived in. I think it looks more realistic. I feel like that would be something that the kind of house most people would live in. So, though I do not make this house quite as cluttered as my other homes, and it's only for the simple fact of, again, base game does not have a whole lot of clutter to pick from. Even if you do use the debug and the live edit menu, which I do, base game is limited on its options. So, but I think I may do with a simple but still cute home with base game that is not too over the top expensive. So that's one of my big goals, is to always not make it too crazy expensive when it's base game, because usually I picture someone that has just the base game of the game to more or less probably just be starting out, and they're probably not wanting anything too over the top. So here you can see I've moved on to the kitchen. I'm finally working on the interior of the home. I'm pretty much done with the exterior, of course, with the exception of the backyard and the landscaping and things like that. But this kitchen, I think, turns out super cute. I like the color scheme with the gray bricks and the white and black counters, and I end up changing out the flooring for more of like a stone tile flooring, which I think really, really complements the overall look. So for base game, I love these cabinets. I think these are one of my favorites. I think that these ones are the Tall Order vintage cabinets. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember exactly, but I think that they're super cute, and I'm always so happy that they're base game because they don't look like they are, if that makes any sense. So just adding the appliances here and a little bit of artwork on the walls. I love those pieces of artwork. I use those pieces of artwork in pretty much every kitchen build that I do. I just think they're so cute. So it actually turned out really nice that they were base game wall decorations, because I use them so much I've kind of forgotten at this point what they are. So I was glad to see that they were base game and I had them available to choose from in my catalog of items. So here I'm just trying to clutter up the kitchen a little bit, but nothing too over the top. With the lack of options that you have in the catalog, I just tried to put just a little bit where it looked realistic, but just not too over the top, you know. If you've seen any of my previous videos, and if you check out my gallery, you'll see I tend to prefer super cluttered countertops, but just didn't want to make the price on this house anything crazy higher than it probably already was for the size of the home. So so you can see there I placed down that tile there, which I think goes perfectly with the color scheme of this kitchen. I was actually really happy with the way this kitchen turned out. I don't think it looks base game at all. The overall color scheme of it, I don't think it does at all. So I was really, really happy with the way it turned out. So just finishing up a few touches there, and I'm going to move on to the back right corner of the house and work on the dining room area. So again, dining room turns out really, really simple. I usually don't go super over the top with dining rooms unless I'm really just feeling the house, like really feeling the theme of the house or the look of the house. I don't generally go too crazy over the top. So I just usually place a china cabinet or two, a decorative table maybe or something, a plant, and of course the table and chairs. What makes a dining room a dining room. And of course just usually a floor rug if the house is not a carpeted house, which this is not. So I did put those pillars in there or columns because I wanted it to still feel open, but be kind of closed off, like definitely a distinct separation from the rest of the house, but I did not want it super closed off. Some houses I do like to do that in, but this house I did kind of want that more open concept first floor. So I did do that kind of little bit of separation, but still open with the rest of the floor. So here you can see I'm just finishing up with a table and chairs and a rug, and that's pretty much it. I think I do go back and actually switch out that decorative table there for a china cabinet, because I always forget, honestly, I always forget where the china cabinets are in the catalog. So sometimes I'll look for them, sometimes I'll forget about them, and then I'll just kind of stumble upon them as I'm working on another room, and I'm like, oh, I completely forgot about these china cabinets. And I will usually then place one in the dining room. So I am pretty sure that's what I do here, pretty much exactly. So that will get switched out, and I will move that decorative table someplace else, and I will be placing a china cabinet in its place. So here right outside the kitchen on the left hand side of the house, I'm working on the living room area. So this does end up changing a little bit. You'll see here in just a few minutes, I actually end up adding a half bath toward the front of the house, right on the front side of this living room area. I realized as I was getting ready to work on the upstairs, I realized I did not have a bathroom on the first floor. And I know that if I was entertaining and had guests over that were not going to be spending the night and using the upstairs guest bedroom, that I more than likely would not feel like they would be comfortable with going up to my second floor and just traipsing around near our bedrooms. So I figured that having a half bath on the first floor would be easier for the guests. So I do end up changing that a little bit, and it does require me to kind of push all of the furniture down a little bit more toward the kitchen, so it's not quite centered on that wall with the door. That's okay. I think it ends up turning out really cute, and I like the overall layout of the first floor. If I were to do it over again, I might make a couple of changes, but nothing too crazy, too over the top. And again, with it being base game, there are limitations on your options. So I did try and keep it simple and cohesive. And I was picturing the sim that was purchasing the items of furniture for this house to all have a very similar style. So I didn't want one room to have one feel and another room to have another feel. I picture that whoever purchased the furniture for the living room was the same person who purchased the furniture for the dining room, for the office, for the bedrooms. So I wanted that kind of cohesive feel. So while it can be difficult with no expansion packs or game packs, I just kind of tried my best and think it turned out pretty nice, actually. I was pretty happy with it overall, so really hope you like it too when everything is said and done. I really hope you check out my gallery and download it and play it for yourself. Let me know how you like it. I'm not super big into actually playing Sims 4, which is crazy. I have played it before and I like it, but I always end up wanting to go in and edit the house that they're in, or change up the wallpaper or the flooring. I do it every single time, and I was thinking maybe for one of my next videos to do a renovation, to take a house that is currently in the main worlds and just renovate it, change the exterior paint and maybe give it a new floor plan or a touch up to some of the way the furniture is and the way the bedrooms are laid out and things like that, because I think sometimes the Sims building team is either spot on, love the build, or I'm just not feeling it at all. So there are sometimes I'm like, why is there an enormous giant bathroom for just a toilet, a shower, and a sink? It's like you could fit another bedroom in this house if you just made a smaller bathroom, So I would like to actually do a renovation. So it's been a long time since I've actually done a renovation. So I think that's actually a really great idea. I would love to do that. So again, when I am picturing the Sims game, actually playing it, I don't actually picture playing the actual game. I picture playing the game maybe for a little bit and then going in and actually changing the house around and giving them this amazing makeover, you know, to their home and seeing how they react to it and things like that. I'm also not a huge fan of playing the game without using cheats because I don't like to have a game that's super difficult like that. This game is hard, you know, and I play games to escape life and, you know, coming and playing Sims 4 and having to deal with bills and jobs and relationship troubles and things like that. It's like, gosh, like people have those kinds of issues in real life. I don't want to have to deal with those kinds of issues on a fake Sim character's life, you know? So that's part of the reason why I kind of struggle with playing the actual game itself. Because it's kind of my escape from reality and I don't want it to be like reality, you know? I want to live my dream life. So I want to build that big fancy house. I want to cheat in the game and get tons and tons of money like I won the lottery or something. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why I don't like playing the actual game itself. And I just prefer to build, you know? I think you may have heard in a previous video of mine that I actually really only got into the building as much as I have, the building portion of Sims until Sims 4. And I think it's because I feel like there's just a lot more items. Of course, you do usually have to get the expansion packs and stuff, of course. But when you have those build items, I just feel like the catalog of things you can use in build mode is so vast. And while I do actually love, near and dear to my heart, Sims 3, because I love a lot of the features of build mode in Sims 3 that I wish were in Sims 4, I do really like Sims 4. And there's always room for improvements and things like video games, but I really, really like Sims 4 overall. I think I really like the customizability that you have with a lot of the items, and I just like the overall build mode quite a bit. So I didn't really actually get into the building until Sims 4 because of that. So so you can see here I'm starting on the exterior, working on the first level terrace porch area on the side of the house. I kind of was thinking to myself, if someone was hanging out in the living room right there by the kitchen and then walked out here, I would like it to just feel like it's a continuation of that room. It's a continuation of that living room. It's a little more space out here for you to hang out and chill out with your friends or your family or things like that. So that's why I put the fireplace. I wanted it to feel cozy. That's why I put this the couch and the chairs with a table in the middle, and overall just gave it a cozy, warm aesthetic in general. So that was what was going through my mind as I was decorating and customizing this exterior first level terrace. I didn't want you to feel like you were actually outside, you know, because with the full surround, you actually can't leave the terrace without going back inside of the house. Which is not usual. You know, most of the time when you build an exterior porch or exterior terrace, unless it's on the second floor, of course, you normally have access through stairs to the yard, whether it's the front or the backyard, which was another unique feature I actually really liked about the house that I saw in real life. That was the inspiration for this house, was that it was completely cordoned off and you weren't able to actually access the porch, and I mean not the porch, the yard, without jumping over the fence, you know. So, which our Sims here in Sims 4 don't jump fences. So it's nice that it's cozy and off to the side there in its own little space. I think it overall has a really nice feel. So let me know what you think, if you like that space. I think it's super cute overall. I like the way it turns out. So here you can see I've just moved on to the front porch, little entrance area. I'm just working on fixing up. I think the stairs I put here in just a minute in a little welcome mat space. Don't go too over the top with the decorations. I imagine whoever downloads this to have their sim move in. And I also imagine the person who uses this house, that they are more than likely not going to be using cheats because it is a base game build. Now that's not to say that you can't, of course, use cheats or that it's wrong to use cheats, because I live with the Sims cheats, especially the money cheats. The game is not the same without the money cheats, So don't think that that's the case. That's completely okay if you do use the cheats. But I imagine that whoever downloads this and uses this is someone who does not more than likely actually use a cheat, that they actually have their sim earn the money to purchase a house. So they move in. They may not have a whole lot of fun starting out because they use most of their funds to purchase this home. So they're going to save up and add decorations and add extra touches of uniqueness of their personality to this build as time goes on. So that's why it's not super cluttered. I wanted it to be in an attainable price range and still have room for customability for whoever and whatever family decides to purchase the home. So, and you can see here I've moved on to the second floor, just doing that layout and the lighting there. Again, it ends up being a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home. So this is the 3 bedrooms and the 2 bathrooms up here I will be working on here in just a second. The back portion of the house, the extension off the back, that's over the kitchen right now, ends up being the master bathroom, which I think turns out really cute. I actually really like it quite a bit. And so the room I was just putting the windows in, it turns out to be a teenager's room. Doesn't necessarily have to be a teenager's room, I guess, but I kind of decorate it like I imagine a teenager would be living in. So kind of messy, books everywhere. Like I imagine there are probably textbooks from homework and stuff like that for school, a twin bed, some sports equipment, things like that. So ends up overall being something more like a teenager's room. So I think here I'm just going to start placing the basic furniture. Again, I like to go through, place the simple furniture to make sure that my layout makes sense with the sizes of the room, so that there's enough room for the Sims to walk around and enough room for the overall amount of furniture I want to be in those rooms without it being too over the top, cluttered and small and cramped. So here you can see I'm just placing cohesiveness from the first floor up to the hallway of that second floor. So you can see here I'm just hanging the curtains or the draperies for this room. I tried my best to kind of keep this room on the more neutral side. So I know it has blue and it has a blue bed and things like that, but I imagine the person who lives in this room could be either female or male. I think it can work for either gender, because again, I do this sometimes, so I shouldn't say I don't, but I do like to try my best to keep my bedrooms more gender neutral. That way it can be used across multiple different Sims homes and multiple different generations. You know, they might have a daughter now that grows up, goes to college, moves out, and then next they might have a son. So as opposed to having to change it all up, and again, not saying you do, what's wrong with the boy liking pink, right? But it is a lot easier when things are a lot more neutral in color in terms of homes here in The Sims. So here I'm just moving on to the toddler's room. I think it turns out really, really cute. Again, more gender neutral. I use yellows and greens and kind of more rainbowy clouds and colors and things like that. I like the overall look of this room. Again, with it being base game, it's tough to clutter rooms up and put a lot of items in them. Especially, I think, personally, I don't know, you all tell me what you all think, if you agree, especially with children and teenagers. I feel like base game doesn't have a whole lot to choose from for them. And to be honest, I really don't think Sims 4 has a whole lot to choose from, even with expansion packs for teenagers and kids, which is kind of funny because they had a specific toddler expansion pack or game pack, I forget which it was, but they still didn't have a whole lot. There were some, and some of the items are super adorable that I love, but I was surprised that there weren't more options. You know, these packs are designed specifically for children or toddlers or whichever age group it was, and they still don't have a whole lot to choose from. So I wish that, Sims 4, if you're listening, which I doubt you are, but I wish you were listening, please make really good packs designed for specific age groups or just for kids in general, from infants all the way up until teenagers, because we definitely need that in Sims 4 for sure. But I think overall, given the fact that, again, this is a base game build, I think that this room turns out pretty cute. You can see here I'm just adjusting the office after I added that additional window to the toddler's room. I figured I should add the same corresponding window to the office as well. So went in and added that. So I've moved on here to the wall decorations. Now I will say the base game has some pretty cute posters, decorations for kids' rooms, especially for the toddler stuff. I think some of their stuff is really cute. Here in a few minutes, I think I end up finding it when I'm working on another room, but there is the little shadow box that has the baby shoes in it, and I just think that is the cutest little thing, and I love putting that in builds for toddler or infant rooms, because if I were a parent, actually I shouldn't say that, I am a parent, but if I were a parent in The Sims, I would think that that is super adorable. So I love to add that to the nurseries and toddler rooms that I built in Sims 4. So here I'm just adjusting the layout and shape of the bathroom for the second floor that will be used by the Sim that occupies the twin room and for the toddler's room as well. I initially started it as a 2x3 bathroom, but I ended up moving it to a 3x3. So I think sometimes a 2x3 bathroom can be a little too cramped depending on where the door is, and doesn't always seem feasible, again depending on where the door ends up. So I end up actually expanding it by 3 more tiles, and I think it turns out very nice given the size of the bathroom and its overall location. I think it ends up working really well. So here in the primary suite, I put that light sagey color, which I think is such a nice, pretty color, super relaxing. I know that in my home, in my personal home, that is actually the color on my bedroom wall, that light sage color. And I just think it's such a calming color. And for being a green, it looks really neutral, which can be hard for a color that is not a neutral color to look neutral like that. I really like the way that it has a calming effect, especially for bedrooms. So placing that bed, it's that more colonial style bed. I love that bed, especially considering it's base game. I forgot it was base game. So when I went to go through the catalog to pick a bed, I was like, oh gosh, I'm not going to probably have a whole lot to pick from. I'm going to have this tacky looking bed in this nice room in this nice house. So I was pleasantly surprised to find that bed was base game. Completely forgot. It's been a while since I've done a base game build, you can tell. So just placing some decorative furniture here in the bedroom. I don't think I started actually getting into the very detailed decorations until a little later. I think this is just the beginning on that second floor where I start placing just the basic overall furniture, and go back and place the rest later on that master or primary suite. So here you can see I'm just adjusting that foundation. I forgot that there were some parts of it that I didn't adjust properly. So here I've moved on to the primary bathroom, which I think turns out really, really cute. I think it's a really nice complement to the primary bedroom. I think it has a nice calming look, similar to the way the bedroom looks. So Initially, you can see here I tried to place a shower, but then I completely forgot that base game does not have these showers that attach to the wall where you don't actually need the stall or the bathtub. So I had to completely nix that idea and do something completely different. And I use this clawfoot tub that has the surround for the shower and the curtain, which still I think turns out really, really cute. I think that particular clawfoot tub color ends up really matching the bathroom really, really well. So really shouldn't complain because I like the overall look, like the overall aesthetic. I think it looks really, really cute. So I don't know about you all, but I love to decorate bathrooms. I just love it. I don't know why. I think it's because I love the decorations that we get that can be used in bathrooms. I think that they're really, really nice and they're not too over the top, and there's something that you could actually see in a realistic bathroom. So you've probably heard me mention it before on one of my previous build videos, but I like when my houses feel authentic and realistic. So I really like the bathroom build options for that reason, because it does give it a more realistic vibe. I mean, even that toilet, it's just a toilet, but it's actually a very realistic toilet. I think I had that toilet growing up in my house. I don't know about you, but I think I had that toilet. So little details like that, I think, are really, really nice in the Sims 4 bathroom building options. So here I am just finishing up a couple of simple decorations. I don't go too over the top in that main floor bathroom, or second floor main bathroom, because it is a smaller bathroom. I don't want it to be too cluttered where you can't actually use any of the items, where there's your sim starts waving his hands in the air like, hey, I can't access this. So I didn't want that. So here in this teen room, you can see I'm putting some more teen themed posters on the wall, some concert pictures and singers pictures and things like that, which I feel like any teenager would probably have in their bedroom, and just overall cluttering the room with things that I think would actually be in a teenager's bedroom. But I do really like the way that this bedroom turns out. I think it looks like a teenager actually lives in this room, you know? I think it's cluttered enough, especially with base game items. I was surprised that I was able to find things that I thought went well, and just the overall look. I feel like I could picture my teenage self living in here, which was kind of the idea I was going for. So I love these posters. I was really happy that these actually came with base game. These posters I placed on the wall, I was really, really happy. I know if you have Discover University, and I think it's Eco Lifestyle, you have a lot more options with posters. But I was actually really surprised that there were so many poster options, especially in base game. So overall, I like the way that this room turns out. So let me know what you think. Put in the comments, let me know overall what you think, not about just that bedroom. Let me know about how you think about all of it. Really want to hear feedback. I really am wanting to know what viewers would like to see. Again, this is a channel that's still new to me, and I'm still kind of figuring it out exactly what I'm going to end up majority of my time creating. So I'm trying my best to just do a little bit of a variety of things. My next video is more than likely going to be a community lot that I built. So I really hope that you'll join me for that. I hope to post that as soon as I am done editing all of the footage down. It was an enormous process for that. So there is so much footage I have to go through and edit through and create that file for to post, because it was a lot of work. And I ended up having an issue where my entire computer crashed mid-build and didn't save anything. So I had to go back and do the entire build over from scratch. I was heartbroken. Just ask my husband. I almost cried because I think I spent like 4 hours on it up until that point. And I hit save. You know, I'm one of those people who every now and then I'll just hit that save button. And I did hit it. And I thought I was safe because I hit that save button. But nope, went back and gone. I was so sad. So that's okay though. I redid it, rebuilt it, and I can live to tell another day's tale. So, but you know, it's okay. It's not a big deal. At the moment, it felt like a big deal though when it was happening. So you could see there, I was finishing up the primary suite, which I think turned out really cute. Again, nothing too over the top with clutter, more on the simple side, but still has enough in it that it feels lived in, which was what I was going for, especially with a base game build. So here I've moved on to the exterior of the home, specifically the backyard area. So I try to make it look, you know, grown with some greenery and things like that, some trees and bushes and stuff, but not too over the top, because this is a smaller backyard that I have here on this one. I did intentionally make it smaller because with it being a base game, I didn't really want to have too much open space. I know sometimes a lot of wide open space can make things feel cold and not homey, so I wanted it to have that homey feel. So I tried my best to make this feel like a backyard that you would want to spend some time in. I ended up being able to fit the monkey bars and I think some gardening boxes and then some trash cans, and that's pretty much it for the backyard green space, not the deck or the back porch or anything like that. Again, try not to be too cluttered. I didn't want to fit too many activities or items back there where it felt very overwhelming. So again, and I wanted to leave some space for growth. I wanted someone who has a family that purchases this lot have room to make it their own and add their own touches to it when they see fit, when that time comes for them and their families that they have live on this lot. So I did have some trouble with the bushes, and it was only because I realized after placing some of them that they weren't base game. So tip/trick, when you use the eyedropper to create a duplicate item of something you already have on your plot, it completely eliminates your filter selections. So every time I would copy something, I would return back to the normal list of items in my catalog, including my expansion packs, my game pack items. So you can see here, I'm actually switching out some of the bushes that were not base game for items that are base game, because I did want to, again, keep it base game. So I think it ends up looking really nice in the end. Some of the bushes that you get in base game can be not the most colorful. I prefer the bushes over flowers, and that's part of my issue. So it's more a me thing than it is a Sims 4 thing, because I think that they look more lush, even if they're not the most colorful. So though I think that this turns out really well. I think it has a nice overgrown but manicured look to it once everything is said and done. So I just ended up putting a couple of trees on the lot, nothing too over the top. Again, what I was going for was more simplistic in its look. So I do think that this house is perfect for a growing and starting family. Again, maybe a couple who has finally saved up enough funds to purchase a home and now they want to start a family. This home would be perfect for that. So that's what I imagined, and that's what I think I'm going to use it for my save file. So here I'm just using some terrain paint to create that path from the front to backyard. I would definitely love to hear your all's feedback on my builds and my videos. Any suggestions that you all have, I would be very welcome to hearing them. Because again, I am just starting out with this, and I would love to know what you all would like to see or hear. And any suggestions would be fantastic. Because again, I really want to make this more for you all to watch than for me, because I can see it as I'm doing it. So I would love this to be more something for you all. So again, any feedback, suggestions are super appreciated. And so as you can see here, I'm just finishing up the exterior, just adding a couple of trees to the property and lot and creating that more landscaped look. But I also don't like it when it looks too landscaped, if you know what I mean, too structured. So I kind of try my best to make it look more deliberate, little less structured. So just put a little bit of greenery around the trees here and just make it look more homey and inviting here at the front area near the entrance. So I think I achieved the look I was going for. So let me know what you think in the comments. I think that overall I really like the way it turned out. So all right, here I'm just going to be doing a little bit of work on that second level terrace, and that's pretty much it for this video. I really appreciate all of your support, and I hope you join me for future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.